considering relocating to the Raleigh area and wondering if it would be a good place for you and your family to live? 6 years ago, my family and I were in the same situation, and we were searching the internet and reading everything we could about the area. Ultimately, we moved here sight unseen in 3 weeks from California. Talk about a whirlwind. Now, when it comes to moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, there are some really big misconceptions out there and what people are thinking or even saying. So today, we're gonna be exploring 7 misconceptions about moving to Raleigh, North Carolina. And we're Okay, let's just jump right on in, and we're gonna start with misconception number 1, which is it's a boring city with nothing to do. I'll never forget being on a road trip and driving through downtown Raleigh 15 years ago on a Sunday afternoon, and it literally looked like a ghost town. I saw someone walking and asked where I could take my kids to do something fun, and he actually started laughing and said, "You're definitely not from around here, are ya? It's Sunday, there's nothing to do, everything closes on Sunday." I was definitely shocked to say the least. Now, while being a boring city with nothing to do may have been the case a decade or so ago, it's definitely not that way anymore. In fact, Raleigh not only does continue to be one of the fastest growing cities in the US, but Raleigh even ranks among the top 10 metros for families with children, best cities for senior citizens, most attractive for millennials, a Gen Z hotspot, and best places for college students to live, according to WARL.com. And if that weren't enough, our area also has been named among the top 5 of America's happiest cities and best US cities to work for a work-life balance. And I can tell you that was our top reason why my family and I decided to move here as well. I mean, after all, who doesn't want to live in a happy city and have a work-life balance? And when it comes to things to do, our city and surrounding towns have a lot to offer, from several major universities to museums, sporting events, concerts, festivals, and more. And Raleigh is also part of what's known as the Triangle, which includes Durham and Chapel Hill. And they're both a short drive away and offer even more things to do, everything from shopping to entertainment, parks, gardens, and more. I've seen our area grow so much in the last 6 years, and let me tell you, it's not slowing down. In downtown Raleigh alone, there's more than $4 billion in new construction planned. And then there's Raleigh Ironworks that started their first phase of $150 million. And last year we had Fenton in Cary, which cost around $1 billion. And then there's another $2 billion biotech project in Holly Springs, and Amgen with a $550 million project. I could go on and on. So there is definitely a lot of growth with businesses and money coming into our Raleigh area. Misconception number 2, it's too expensive. One of the big things I hear from a lot of people looking to move to the area is that Raleigh is overpriced and too expensive, and the prices are gonna plummet. Yes, I absolutely agree. Home prices and overall cost of living have increased in the last few years in comparison to where they once were. However, our area was undervalued for so long, and it's continued to attract major businesses to our area, and we've continued to see major growth and development and money being poured into our area. This has caused some locals to either move out of our area altogether or even to the outskirts of the Raleigh area for more affordable housing. However, for the majority of the buyers that are relocating from other parts of the country, they are still finding that Raleigh's housing costs are still much less than what they're used to, especially when you take a look at cities in the US that are comparable to Raleigh. When you take a look at the data, although the Triangle has become more expensive, its cities still remain cheaper than the national average. The median house price in Raleigh, North Carolina is approximately $484,000 compared to other areas like California with a median price of $830,000, Miami at $699,000, New York at $839,000, Tennessee at $585,000, and even Charleston, South Carolina at $669,000. So when you compare that to Raleigh at only $484,000 in comparison to those other areas in those competing cities, you'll find that Raleigh doesn't look that expensive after all. Misconception number 3, the food scene here is just Southern comfort and fried food. Now sure, the South is known for its Southern comfort food, everything from fried chicken, mac and cheese, biscuits, and Southern favorites like hush puppies. But I'm here to tell you, as a fellow foodie, Raleigh has definitely stepped up its game and in the spotlight. According to Zagat, Raleigh is one of America's hottest food scenes and one of the most underrated food cities on the East Coast, according to USA Today, along with one of 12 global destinations to travel to thanks to our famous chefs like James Beard and award winner Ashley Christensen, as well as Scott Crawford and Oscar Diaz, among many others. Here you'll find everything from fusion to Italian, Asian, French, and everything in between. So if you're a foodie like me, you will be eating and exploring till your heart's delight. And if you love food as much as me, drop a comment below and let me know your favorite place to eat in or surrounding the Raleigh area. We're always loving to try new things. Misconception number 4 is that Raleigh doesn't have traffic. Now, personally speaking, I've seen the traffic increase in the last 6 years we've lived here. However, it is still nothing in comparison to Los Angeles and Orange County, where we came from, or different parts like New York and Florida traffic. One of the challenges many of our towns have experienced out here in the last decade is with all the new construction and developments being built and people moving, is the roads have really not kept up with the growth. And one thing that you will notice when you come to visit is the road construction is everywhere. Currently, they're in the process of completing the outer loop, I-540, which currently looks like a big C shape, and it's estimated to be fully completed by 2026. And they already have parts opening in sections as they complete it. Now, once it's done, Holly Springs and Fuquay sections will continue flowing, as well as Garner connecting to Knightdale until we come full circle. And a lot of the communities in the towns are off country roads with only one lane on either side, so especially during morning and evening commutes and school drop-off and pickup times, you're gonna notice it's more congested. But again, it still pales in comparison to other major metro city areas, and if you're already battling traffic and you come here, you may feel like you still have some relief. And as the road construction continues to be completed, we should continue to see our traffic pattern flows getting better. Now, even with our typical traffic commutes in our area, average around 20 to 30 minutes commute, and that's one thing that surprises me when we moved here, are the amount of places that you can get to in less than 30 minutes. Whereas in California, it took us anywhere from an average of 45 minutes to an hour or more. Misconception number 5, unbearable weather and constant hurricane threats. When it comes to weather, the biggest thing we hear is it's too hot and humid in North Carolina. First off, I will say yes. It does get hot and humid here, especially if you're coming from the West Coast where there's actually dry heat versus humidity. We do have hot and humid summers where you're not likely to sit outside and have a picnic per se. Our temperatures average anywhere from the mid 80s to 90s, with the hottest months being in July and August. However, unlike some other states, we actually get to experience 4 seasons here, with spring and fall being absolutely beautiful. It definitely reminds me of California weather. Now, our temperatures can range anywhere from the 50s to 70s throughout these seasons, while our winters are pretty mild. Generally, our temperatures can range from the 30s to 50s, but there is a running joke out here that we can experience all 4 seasons in 1 week or even the same day. But overall, it's something you get used to and actually come to enjoy each season's change. And if you already live on the East Coast, many of our clients tell us the weather is just the same, or their summers are even worse than ours. For example, our neighbors in South Carolina and Florida, where, as I hear it, it gets hot as Hades there. So again, though we have a couple of months of hot humidity, we still do have air conditioning to keep us cool. Another related item, I hear a lot of people that are moving from Raleigh from other areas of the country that don't typically get hurricanes are really concerned about hurricanes, and I can tell you, I was one of those people. Now, I grew up in California, so we had to worry about earthquakes. And as a kid, we even did those earthquake drills at school where we had to hide under our desks. So when I first moved here and heard about hurricanes, I was personally freaked out about them. Now the good news is, if we take a look at the data from 1851 to 2022, it shows that while North Carolina is 4th on the rankings for hurricanes, there hasn't been any Category 5s, there's only been 1 Category 4, and there's only been 6 Category 3s. So what does that actually mean? Yes, we do get hurricanes, but history shows it's far and few between that there'll be destructive hurricanes, especially considering here in Raleigh, we're not on the coastline, which is where the major ones have typically landed. Here locally, we typically get a lot of wind and rain, we get power outages, and sometimes some branches or maybe even a few trees will fall down. Fortunately, we do have an amazing city, and if any trees go down, the city's quick to get them cleared and get the power restored as soon as possible. We learned after our first hurricane power outage to have a generator ready to go at all times in our garage. We even had an electrician come and install a switch so I can just plug it in, flip the switch, and we have instant power. So if you move to the area, you should definitely be aware and prepared, but I wouldn't freak out about the hurricanes. Misconception number 6 is gonna be the wildlife and bugs are out to get you. Now this one is kind of humorous to me. I always get asked how many snakes I see and if we are infested with bugs, and if I worry about alligators or bears when I go outside for a walk. I will tell you, yes, there are snakes, and I've learned that copperheads are the ones that you have to watch out for, as they are poisonous. But growing up in California, we had to look out for rattlesnakes, scorpions, and black widow spiders. And yes, I ran across a few of those in my time as well. So it's the same thing no matter where you are. I'm sure wherever you're moving from, you have something as well. Every state has something to look out for. Here, we've run across many snakes over our years. However, we have not found them to be aggressive or ready to attack us. I'd just be careful when you have your dogs or say your kids playing outside, and make sure to check their play areas before they start playing, just in case a snake might be in there sleeping or looking for shade. There's actually been a few times on a walk where we've come across a snake and had to stop and wait for the snake to continue to go, and then it disappeared into the bushes. Of course, after that, we did put some pep in our step and hightailed it out of there. And yes, we also have bugs to watch out for. The biggest ones that I personally worry about are ticks, which again, I know other states have them as well. The other thing for me is chiggers. Now in California, we were able to sit and even roll around, lay in the grass, look at the stars at night. Well, here, no way. Our grass has chiggers. Now, if you don't know what that is, Google them. I will tell you right now, they are ugly. And they love to bite on your ankles and your lower legs. I was not prepared for that one. But the good news, we do have pest control services that can take care of these pesky critters so you can enjoy your grassy areas at home. And I will say I have yet to see a bear or any alligators like they have in South Carolina or Florida, which is just fine with me. Misconception number 7, you won't fit in or make friends. Now, I know personally firsthand how difficult it is to move and not know a soul, as we did that just 6 years ago when we moved here. But I can tell you what I found along with many of my clients and new friends I've met along the way. Not only is North Carolina a friendly southern state full of wonderful local folks, but it's also a melting pot filled with lots of transplants from all across the states and even the world, with a large population coming from California, New York, and Florida. And I'd encourage on your visit here to stop a local and have a conversation, and you'll be surprised at just how many people aren't from here and relocated for many similar reasons as yourself. If you have kids, it's easy to plug into activities they love and meet new friends that way. And even if you don't have kids or you're an empty nester, there are plenty of local activities and clubs that you can join and meet new people. There's everything from local hiking clubs, running clubs, book clubs, wine clubs, foodie meetups, you name it, there's a group out for it. And again, if there's not, start one yourself and start attracting your tribe. I guarantee they're out there. Even a lot of our neighborhood communities have meetups and barbecues, and so many people are super chill and easy to get to know. I hear that from a lot of relocating buyers who call me. They'll say, we're looking for a great community where the houses are closer together and there's sidewalks for my kids to play and make friends. We'd love to be close to nature, walking trails, parks. There are so many here. Off the top of my head, there's neighborhoods like Bedford at Falls River, Amberley, Holly Glen, South Lakes, Wendell Falls, Flowers Plantation, and Nightdale Station Park. There's just too many to name, but feel free to reach out to me and we can explore some options that best fit your lifestyle. If you found this information helpful, please click the like button below so others like you can find this information as well. And if you're looking to relocate to the Raleigh area or anywhere surrounding the Raleigh area and looking to purchase a home, we would love to help. All you have to do is reach out to us. My number's right here on the screen. Whether you want to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. We got your back when relocating to Raleigh, North Carolina. Till next time, we'll see y'all later.